Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a video for you about the impact of the Black Ops 3 Beta. I made a video quite a while back saying that the Black Ops 3 Beta was the best time to give your feedback about the game, that the devs were listening, that this puts the ball in your court, so to speak, and that if you want Black Ops 3 to be a good game, you should talk about it. I don't really necessarily know if I had to make that video because the community was very vocal, very outspoken, and Treyarch is apparently very accepting to community ideas, and there were a lot of changes. We're going to talk about all of those today, some more critical than others, but we'll start off with an easy and popular one, a softball, so to speak, and that's the fact that Black Hat has been nerfed. A lot of people did not think that Black Hat should have been in the game, especially not in its current form, that it was completely OP, that it was unfair to just steal kill streaks very, very easily. Not destroy them, but just straight up steal them, so that every time you earn something, somebody else would take it over. Well, Treyarch agreed with all of you, and they heard that. They changed it to where the hacking speed is slower than it used to be. It scales based on how close you are to the thing that you're trying to hack, so you might have to run up to it to get some of the bigger things, and you now have to have precise aim to actually hack these score streaks in a reasonable time, as they say. So while that's good and hacking still takes you out of the fight for longer than it used to, Treyarch decided that wasn't punishing enough. You now also appear as a red dot on the minimap during the entire time that you hack, and when you're hacking somebody, they get a voice notification letting you know that you're being hacked, which gives you the opportunity to go and kill them, or your teammates to kill them. So whenever you decide to hack a score streak, you are just kind of like a giant target. It's going to take you out of the fight for longer, and it's going to be more difficult to do. I feel that all of these are good compromises, much more punishing and much more compromising than what I expected for Treyarch, but thinking about it, it does kind of make sense that a tactical piece of equipment should not be able to destroy kill streaks that easily. Moving on, let's talk about the ever-controversial Rejack. I complained about this nearly endlessly. Prestigious Key complained about this. The majority of the community complained about Rejack, but Treyarch decided to keep it in the game. They feel that it has a place and that it should not be removed. However, there were some issues with it. Namely, you didn't get a kill. When you killed somebody and you put them into Rejack, it did not count as a kill. You now do get kill credit for that and kill points, and it just stays on the leaderboard and so forth, and in permanent stats. Also, Rejack now resets the score streaks, just kind of like the nerf at the end of the beta. And when it first came out, you used to be able to keep your score streaks, so people were kind of using it like anybody that wanted to go for really huge streaks, they would have Rejack, and it would kind of give you a second win. That's completely gone, so now you don't get the sort of easier high kill streaks. I suppose Rejack is not going to be very useful in objective game modes or TDM or anything like that, especially in TDM because you don't get the points for the kill. However, in Search and Destroy, I do feel that there is going to be a lot of Rejack and a lot of people to get really, really annoyed with it. The third most common complaint amongst the Call of Duty community was about the flinch in the game, that it was too high, that it was too inconsistent, that it was frustrating, and this was kind of a point of contention. Some people felt that it was okay, that it added skill in the game, that you should flinch when you were shot, that you should not flinch when you were shot, or, you know, that we're all just kind of addicted to running toughness and it wasn't that bad. Well, David Vonderhaar got on the PlayStation blog and was talking about this and said, quote, "Our improved networking code would sometimes cause bullet flinch to stack. So they put a cap on how much you can flinch while you're aimed down sights." And that's kind of crazy sounding to me, because if it was improved, that's an odd bug for it. And it's an odd bug in general, which basically means, you know, you get shot once and you're supposed to flinch a little bit, but if you get shot multiple times and it lags, it can make all of that flinch happens at one time, which is kind of why your gun would jump up to the sky. And apparently it was a big enough problem where they decided to put like a global fix to it. They kind of capped the maximum amount that you can flinch when being shot by certain guns, so that it doesn't happen as often. Again, there's still going to be flinch, and as far as I can tell, this bug is still going to be present, but they kind of capped its effects. Moving on, they added a kill hit marker, much like the one in Call of Duty Ghosts, which was a fantastic addition, by the way, near the end of that game. And they also described something strange, is that your hit marker will grow, will subtly grow in size with each subsequent hit, turning red upon dealing lethal damage. That's kind of what I've never seen this before. I've never seen a hit marker that gets bigger, or slightly bigger with each hit, but that is interesting. It lets you know that you're getting consistent hits. The lame duck throws on the grenades have been fixed. Before, they were kind of adding momentum, so if you were to run and jump and throw, you could throw them really far. However, if you stood still, or especially if you were moving backwards, they would be kind of like lame ducks and you couldn't throw them very far at all. That was a bug in some respects. That has been fixed. You now have a consistent grenade throw distance regardless of the range. Concussion and flashbangs also got nerfed a little bit, not significantly, and you do get the tactical mask attachment much earlier because they were kind of annoying with everything blowing up, shaking the screen. So there should be a little less annoying and a little bit easier to count. For competitive play and just in general, they finally, after several itinerations, added a time in the hill stat on the scoreboard and leaderboards for hardpoint. This is fantastic. That's something that a lot of people in the competitive community have wanted to know, as in like who's holding down the hardpoint, who's getting the points for that. So now we definitely are going to have that. I think that's a very good thing. We got extra points for escorting the robot and safeguard, which I suppose that's good to know that safeguard is coming back because it was a experimental mode, and if it really blew, they could have axed it, they could have changed it, they could have done a lot with it, but it's kind of coming back. Moving near the end, the Yvonne talks about some weapon rebalances, including the Razorback and the M8A7, which were both considered the most OP weapons. I have a guess that those are going to be similar to the patches that they got near to the very end of the Xbox One beta. And finally, they added more details to the kill cam. When you get the kill cam, it shows their weapons, the score streaks, specialist equipment, all that kind of perks, just, you know, kind of all the stuff that they have going on, so that you get a little bit more details about how you were killed or how you lost the gunfight. And overall, I think this is a good thing. We influenced things about the beta. The community was loud, we were vocal, we said what we did and didn't like. Treyarch didn't always agree, but they did adjust their game to meet the needs of the community, and they did definitely nerf some OP things that would have been annoying right out the gate. We've probably fixed connection issues and a dozen other small bugs that we don't even know about, tons and tons of back-end data. So overall, very good, and I'm very happy to say the community did its job, Treyarch did its job, and Black Ops 3 is shaping up to look good. Guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.